We are just getting ready, so we'll be starting soon. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. We will be starting in just a couple of minutes. So before we begin, just want to make sure all the parents and the kids are both are attending, and you have a appropriate pen and a notebook or a paper is ready, so that once we finish this, we can have some good Q&A, and you also can take some notes. So we'll be starting soon. So make sure your kids are there, and kids, make sure your parents are also there, so that it is it's like a family event, and everybody can join, listen in, and take the advantage of this session. So before we begin, anyone has any question or expectations or anything they just want to share, feel free to come out and ask if there is anything before we begin the session. And once we begin the session, we'll go through that, and then we will have a Q&A at the end, so that way I will have enough time to cover all the topics, what I want to cover, and then we can have a more Q&A discussion. And if they have any specific to their family or their kid, we can always have a one-on-one session, but we'll be covering the general topics. So I'll be starting in a minute, but in the meantime, if anybody has any specific questions or expectations or anything they want to share before we begin the session, feel free to come out and unmute, and you can talk. Feel free to keep your video is also on when you are asking your questions, so I can also see who you are and we can know each other. Okay, so just in a minute, I'll be starting the session. As I said, in the meantime, if there are any questions or anybody have any expectations from this session, anything they want to share, feel free to unmute and ask. And if you want to keep your videos open, feel free to do it. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Swami Sri Parambadur, your college mentor and guide. I have been running this college WhatsApp since many years. I've been mentoring all the kids and parents since last 7+ years. And I have been getting a lot of questions from the parents and also the middle schoolers. I have been mostly catering to the high school and how we can prepare for the college. But then they were all asking, hey, can we have some tips for the middle schoolers? How parents can get involved, how parents can do support the kids. Just to give an analogy, right? So when you are planning for a vacation, you're taking a family of 4 and you're planning to go to somewhere, maybe a trip to Europe. What do? You don't plan just a day before and then buy the tickets and buy everything and then pack everything and go, right? You would be planning at least a month or a couple of months, or if not few weeks, so that you can find where you can get a good deal for the flights, good deal for the hotels, talk to your kids, talk to respective partners in the home and see, hey, what is as a family, what we want to do, where we want to go, what is our budget, within this budget, how many days we can plan, where we want to do, what we want to accomplish. Okay, what is your children's priorities? All that you gather the information. Based on that, you prepare an itinerary. Based on that, you go and shop around and see where you can get a deals. Then see, okay, if it is a Thanksgiving, maybe it is too much rush. Maybe I want to take a vacation. Or if it is a Christmas time, maybe it is too much to do in Christmas. Maybe I can do plans. So you are really planning in advance for at least a month or 2 or few weeks before you do. But think about the college. You have to really plan much more in advance. It is, in a sports, it is like a long haul game, right? Because if you have a planning, you have a strategy, you understand your abilities of the children. Similarly, each student understand what are their capabilities, what are their deficiencies, where they can improve on, so that you are really understanding the holistic person of the abilities, deficiency, and then you are putting a strategy and see what is your aim. So that's what we want to understand from the middle school perspective. So I will be going through a lot of these discussions in step by step, and then we will also have a Q&A session at the end. Okay. So I hope you all are able to see my screen. So it's all about a very special edition for today, college session for middle schoolers. As I said, this is an exclusive for all middle schoolers to get prepared for high school, college, and beyond, because this also will give you a lot of the life lessons, right? But before we begin, as you all know, I am part of the VT Seva advisor. We promote heavily VT Seva, and thanks to our CEO and our guru, Sri Chinnajiyar Swamiji, who has given us a platform for all the youth to participate in the VT Seva. So right now I'm in Cary, North Carolina. So we have a VT Seva Cary chapter. But similarly, VT Seva also has almost in 40+ centers around the US. So if you are in Cary, you must be part of the VT Seva. It is for your own advantage. What we call is, it is a personality development, so that you are trying to explore and do things which you have a passion to do it, and there are no penalties because you're volunteering. So you're learning a lot of the new skills and you're going out in the market, right? Like, you go to help some of the old age people, or it could be preparing some greeting cards. So if you have a passion for art, you're bringing all the designing and all. So if you are in Cary, you have to be a part of VD Seva for your own good. If you're not in Cary, find out what are the chapters where you can enroll. If you want to go more information, you can go to vtsworld.org. And again, as I say, all my time, what I'm doing is all free for the community. But what we ask is, we highly encourage everyone to go to vtsworld.org. It is a non-profit organization, and I want you to support whatever the amount you can. And all this amount can go to a free education for visually challenged kids, as well as the underprivileged tribal kids. My goal is, as I am spending all my time to help people like you to achieve your dreams. In return, I'm asking you to support the concept of giving free education to visually challenged kids as well as the tribal kids. This is an initiative taken by our CEO and Acharya, Sri Chinnajiya Swamiji. As you can see, a lot of the kids, not only from Cary, but around the US, they have opportunity to go and spend 2 weeks of volunteering in India. There will be a chaperones. If you need more information, you can connect with any of our volunteers, youth board. But this is a great personality development, and it is also a great opportunity for the kids to go and explore. So the kids are just going without parents. There will be adult chaperones, and a parent also can chaperone, go and visit all these places. This is like wonderful. As you can see, these are all visually challenged kids who are excelling, and this time they have come to Texas for the World Championship competition for robotics. They are doing amazing things, and your support is invaluable. Whatever the way you can support, either volunteering or giving the money or donation to support this cause. Okay. So that is all about VD Seva. If you have any more information, any more questions, you can reach out to me, or you can reach out to Kalyani Garu, who is the director for VD Seva here, or any of our youth board. If you're a part of it, I'm sharing a lot of the information, and you can always go to vtsworld.org. Now, let's focus on that transitioning to middle school, high school, college, and beyond. Right? So I have received a lot of the registrations. I have seen most of the kids who have registered are either 7th graders or 8th graders. Very few I have seen 6th graders. I've also seen some of them are 9th and 10th graders. So it's okay. I'm going to cover a lot of the topics, mainly with a focus on middle schoolers, but it also will be applicable to some of the points for high schoolers. And then again, we can open up for the Q&A, and then we can go over. Okay, so imagine you have gone through an elementary school as a student, even as a parent. Elementary school, everything is exploratory. There is no penalty. From your kindergarten to 5th grade, everything you are learning, you are just going to one classroom, you have a one classroom teacher, everything is just connected to that classroom teacher. Parents go and drop you. Parents can speak to the classroom teacher. Mostly it is very much hand holding by the teacher, by the parents. So you are still in that learning stage. It's almost like, you are in a shell where trying to explore. You have a complete guardrails around you. You are being treated as a baby. You are going from nursery to pre-K to kindergarten to elementary. All that is fine. But when you come to middle school, you will be like a new kid. Did anybody has read this book, New Kid? If you have read, you can put your thumbs up or a smiley, right? If you have not read the New Kid book, I highly encourage everybody, all the middle schooler, to go and read this book. And also the parents, if they have time, if they want to take time and read this book, this will be a good book. Just to give you the overview of how an elementary kid coming to middle school as a new kid, how the the experiences of the new kid. And these are some of the books called Newbery Award books. If the kids or parents are not exposed to Newbery Award kids, I highly encourage you all to go to the library and find or talk to the librarian and ask for Newbery Award books. These are all phenomenal books, very thought-provoking, and they have a different levels. These books are for middle schoolers. There are books for high schoolers and beyond. So you can go to the library and ask. Okay, so what is happening in middle school? You are coming from elementary to middle school, suddenly the whole building is much bigger than the elementary, because elementary is a very compact. You have just a one classroom, you just go and teacher will bring everybody to there. But in a middle school, suddenly this becomes a very big school. Sometimes some of the big middle schools in different states, they are almost equal to high school. They even have locker rooms. Some of the states may not have the locker rooms. What does that mean? So they are basically becoming a little bit more independence. They are thinking they can do on their own. And from the academics perspective, suddenly the curriculum will be increased high. There is a lot of challenging academics are there. See, you might have seen some of the kids in a typical way, you would be finishing math 1 or sometimes algebra 1, they call in a different states, by end of 8th grade. But it depends upon if the kid is showing the mastery in reading as well as in a math, they will be moved to the gifted program, and then in the gifted program they will be given a advanced courses. It is not common that some of our, especially the Indian community kids whose parents and kids are working with a strategy and planning and making sure what is the college planning process, even they are able to finish math 2 or math 3 even in the 8th grade itself. It has, of course, a lot of the different variables are there. One is kid has to be really focused and kid is eager to learn. Parents are supporting, and the most importantly, the school is identifying what the kid is doing and they are helping to put them into advance. Again, it doesn't mean that every kid has to be pushed. Each kid has a different way of learning. See, if you look at it, an average kid will be like in 11 or 12 years, they're entering into the middle school. So they will be transitioning into high school. Those 3 years, the 6th, 7th, and 8th are very, very critical. The 6th grade is still more on the transitioning side because elementary to middle, there are a lot of changes are happening. Even there are social dynamics, right? You will be fed to a middle school from 4 or 5 different elementary schools are coming into middle school. That means your kid is exposed to a lot of other kids who he or she might not have gone with elementary together, right? So these are all new. So your social dynamics are coming into it. And then there's also a different school environment, the way how the cafeteria works, how the library works. Sometimes depending upon the middle school, you may have to go each class to class at different roles. And suddenly there is an introduction of electives. Nobody knows what are the electives. And then middle school says, hey, what is your elective? I said, I don't know. Because in the elementary, you have a certain subjects for across the table. But now in middle school, they are asking, hey, now you are a little bit grown-up kid. You are, 11 or 12 years or 10 years. So you are at a stage where you want to explore things. Maybe you are good with your choir. Maybe your voice is good. You want to do some singing. You want to do some dancing. Maybe you are good with drama. Maybe you are good with sports. So these are all the electives are coming. Sometimes people are saying, hey, I want to do a computer elective. So all these electives are coming. So you need to spend time with the teacher and see what is all working. At the same time, in elementary, there may not be penalties if you don't behave. What do you mean by behavior? You need to be very respectful in the school and out of the school, and especially in the classroom. How are your mannerisms? How are you, connecting with your teacher, connecting with your fellow friends? Are you saying excuse me if you want to interrupt something? Are you saying thank you? So all these behaviors are very, very important. And once these behaviors are not followed as per the school guidelines, there are also penalties, because middle school is where they want to make sure the kids understand the framework, kids understand the guidelines before they get into the high school. Because in high school, if something goes wrong, it will be on the record, and you will be penalized heavily. And the same report for high school will be carried to college. That's why instead of directly doing that in the high school, they are doing in the middle school. So even though that may not carry to high school, but people will be penalized if you are doing something wrong, because they're forcibly making sure the kids are understanding and behaving, right? And then final thing is, you also have either a daily assignments or a weekly assignments. All those things will be helping you to focus your whatever you are learning that day. You have to make sure to do the assignment so that you are finishing your work. And if you practice that, it will be helpful. A lot of the time, people say, hey, I don't know, I'm coming from a very small area, small elementary school. And most of the time, some of the parents might have put their kids in the private schools, which is again a very confined zone. They are very small. And suddenly, when you come to the middle school, a public school, it's so big. So, how do we be prepared, right? So the way how we prepare is, we want to be first to get organized. You want to make sure you have a daily planner. I think there are, even today, I believe teachers will give you the daily planners. And most of the time, parents say, hey, why this is required? This is unnecessary, another $5, $10. Some of the parents may not buy, or the kids may say that it is an additional work I don't want to do. But that is the biggest mistake you're doing. If you instill a getting organized, getting a daily planner, write about it, especially it will be a good habit of writing before going to bed, saying that, okay, what did I do today? What am I going to do tomorrow? If you do a simple daily activity planner, that will really take you to a long way. And then second is explore. What is explore? You have to explore your new surroundings in the school. Where is your cafeteria? Where is your library? Where is your drama? Where is your music? Because suddenly, when you go to the middle school, you may be completely caught off guard and you don't know where to go. Maybe it is completely overwhelmed. So when you are in the elementary to middle school, like anybody is going to sixth grade this year, take this time to go and visit the schools, spend more time with the teachers, understand how these things are working, and expect to meet new people. When you meet new people, this is again, networking is very, very critical, especially in this country. As we all experienced as a parents, if you want to succeed in life, we see the best people who are successful are not the best people who always have the good scores or hardworking. The best successful people are people who can easily connect with people, make new friendships, and expand their network. As you all know, our net worth is the network what we have. So this is starts from middle school onwards, to go and meet new people, make new friends, irrespective. So sixth grader can always make friends, not only in sixth grade, but also seventh and eighth. So that way you are always looking upwards. You are making sure you have a right team in your network. And then don't hesitate to ask questions. This sounds very simple, but if you don't instill this to your kids, to ask any question to the teacher or to the parent, you will never have any problem if you follow this. But if you don't follow, you will stumble in high school. Because imagine when you go to the high school, suddenly the average size of a ninth grade in a public school is around 800 to 1200. Suddenly you're going into the massive big pool. So if you don't make sure you are asking the questions and making your brand within the area where you are going to miss the boat, right? And also the early on kid knows when to ask, how to ask, who to ask. If they know, that is a one very big weapon which you are giving them to be successful. And most importantly, all the middle schoolers, everybody with this electronic gadgets, they are hooked on to a lot of the plays, which is okay, but you need to manage your time. Everybody has only 24 hours. So these kind of attributes we need to instill to middle schoolers. You should not still treat them as babies. You need to give them a little bit of independence, let them fail, but then you are there to support. Because you are all preparing. If you do over, then people will not understand how to manage their time. So you need to balance that, right? And then always make sure you as a parent are positive and each kid is positive, so that it is important for them to understand the nuances happening in the school and stay positive and flexible. So that sometimes you plan everything but it may not work, god may have a different plan. You need to be flexible to accommodate how or anytime anything changes, right? So always, if something goes wrong, you should know who to go. There is a guidance counselor, there's a classroom, there is a vice principal, there is a principal. You need to say, hey, if you have some problem, seek support. They always say that, seek support, right? And then more important is stay involved in any of the clubs. What I've seen is every kid whom I'm talking to, they are trying to get into the clubs only in 10th or 11th grade. By the time you feel not comfortable to talk to the new people, you may feel that you are left alone. You may not have that interest. But if you are able to push your kids, because most of the time, and most of the times, the Indian kids, right? We always say that, okay, academics are good. We don't want to join in any clubs. We don't want to go into the sports. We don't want anything. Just, or you may be busy with your work. I have to drop them at 9 o'clock. I have to pick them at 3 o'clock. That's it. You need to make sure your kid is involved in all the clubs. Explore, because middle school is all about explore. Don't think that, okay, somebody else is doing robotics, your kid has to do robotics. They may have something better. So they have to stay involved and make sure in the process you are taking care of yourself. And very, very important, appreciate every moment. If they get some A's, celebrate it. If they get something in the club, celebrate it, because you are basically doing a positive reinforcement. Okay. Now, suddenly this middle school to high school, why it is important? Why kids have to study in middle school to go into high school? The reason is you need to be prepared well in advance in middle school. As I said, a lot of the kids are doing math 1 or math 2 or math 3. But if you are not realizing how these things are working in advance, it will be difficult, right? So you are basically inculcating the habit. As I said, in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, you are supposed to get all good grades, because college is taking a look at it of all 4 years of your grades. If you don't have a proper study habit, how are you going to get a grade? So that you need to understand right in middle school to make sure, even though you may not have, some of the schools may have GPA, you may not have the GPA. What you have is you have a grade A, grade B, grade C, grade D. So always try for grade A. It's okay if you get grade B, but you need to see why you are getting grade B, whether you need any help. That will tell you if you may be stumbling in math, you may be stumbling in reading, you may be stumbling in science. So you, whether you need a tutor, whether you need some other additional support, or it could be you are overwhelmed with so many other things that you are not prioritizing your activities. Maybe you are spending too much in soccer but too less in your studies. maybe you are spending too much in sports. So you need to see, I mean, you can always spend a lot of time in sports, but then if you're spending too much time, you need to be top 1% in the nation. Otherwise, it is not worth to spend too much time in sports, neglecting your studies. So you need to be at least average. And then if you are in the top 1% of the state, then you are taking into a different league. If not, you always give more preference to your academics. Of course, you need to spend time in sports and clubs so that you are balancing, right? So you have to set what are your academic goals. So how do you set your personal skills? As I said, we think middle schoolers are still babies, and a lot of the parents may not help them to do things on their own. You need to make sure every kid is focusing on time management and organizing. They need to have a complete planning. What is going to happen today? What is going to happen this week? What is going to happen next week? What is going to happen in this month, next quarter? You need to have like a year-long planning for 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. At least a ballpark estimation. What is all happening? They are already giving you the calendar. So you should know what is all happening, right? And then if you don't know, right now, most of the kids are using laptops or mobile apps, or the parents are setting up their accounts. Help them to do Google calendars. Make them to sure they have to-do list. Okay. So all these things are very, very important for them because the tools are going to help them. And then one important aspect is how are they exploring their interest and cultural activities? Because when you are working in any of these colleges, your GPA, your SAT, all these are very, very important. But what are the extra other things you are bringing into the mix? What is your extracurricular activity? As we said, are you doing in robotics? Are you in the DECA club? Are you in the FBLA? Some of these, are you in science Olympiad or math Olympiad? Are you in a choir? Are you, if you are in a music or drama, are you performing at a state level? So you need to really go into the details of this extracurricular. And one of the critical aspects is kids have an opportunity to explore. You don't need to excel, you need to explore. Excel is need to happen in high school. If you excel, that's good. But in middle school, you are basically exploring every activity so that you know based on your skills, your abilities, what is the best thing for you as a kid. You need to take the decision. But because you are still at that age that you may not able to take a decision on your own, you have an idea, but you need to work with your parent. So parent is telling you, okay, my kid is very good in math. I think I will support his decision to go to math Olympiad. But sometimes the kid has to think through, and then parent is adding. So that it's a combination of the parent and the kid is helping you to see where you want to go. And sometimes parents, because they are talking to the teachers and other peers in the community, so they may have some other ideas, and then they are going to share. But it is a good bonding time between the kid and the parent. You need to do some kind of a discussion and debate for a better good. Okay. And if you want to have any resources, go to your school clubs, community organization, guidance counselor, talk to them. These kids are there for you. Right? Now, if you are an 8th grader, what are you supposed to do? First of all, if you are going to start raising 8th graders, you should start strong. What do you mean by start strong? You need to really know what are you going into your 8th grade subjects. Are you good in your math? Are you good in your reading? Are you good in your science, social? So you need to really go through the entire curriculum, make use of this summer to make sure if you have any gaps, any things you have done in 6th grade and 7th grade, you really want to warm up. Take all those things. So when you start the beginning of the 8th grade, you should be fully ready that, hey, this is a final year of my middle school. I really want to explore and I want to ace it, right? So you need to go. And in the summer, I highly encourage all 8th graders should go and visit high school. A lot of the times, what they do is 8th graders will wait till December When the open house is there, you try to go. But sometimes, I mean, that is good still, but sometimes the kid is busy, our parents are not available, or you are not getting any open slots, or you may be very busy with your homework, you may not have time, you do not explore. But if you go in the summer and explore, just visit, because what happens is, why should you visit, right? Because every neighborhood you have a high school, every neighborhood you have a magnet high school. You need to understand where you want to send your kid. And kid also now slowly, because in sixth and seventh he became a little bit independent, he or she also knows what is that she want to do, whether she want to go into the engineering stream or a medical stream or a business stream, or she want to go to Ivy League colleges. So she is getting all that aura that, you want to visit your high schools and see, okay, this is my bigger goal. How can I achieve that bigger goal? Which school is supporting me? Suppose if you are really strong in medical, go to a magnet school which is offering the medical schools. If you're really not sure about it, you really want to go to a equal school, high level math and science or social, you find out which school is there. Maybe you are very good in arts, you want to explore the art, find out which school is there. So you really need to go, because some of the schools are pretty good in drama, music, theater, all of them are available. And luckily, we are in a country, United States of America, where every activity, if you do with a passion, has a great career path. You don't need to follow, because most of the people from India, how we all came only for IT. So every kid does not need to do IT alone, or every kid does not need to become a doctor. There are plenty of other career options are there. So this is also another important aspect in an eighth grader to understand, hey, what am I good at it? What are my career choices? Where can I explore? I have some resources in later in the slides I will share where you can actually explore. You can volunteer. Again, going back to my volunteering with PD Seva, this will help you to explore. Maybe you can shadow a doctor. Maybe you can go and shadow a coach. Maybe you want to be a sports coach. So there are plenty of opportunities, but you need to explore. Another biggest thing what people think about is, hey, when I am applying for college, maybe I have to take a tour, or it is not necessary. Even if I take a tour, maybe I do it in 11th or 12th grade. That is completely wrong, because you are already at the last mile. You cannot change, right? It's almost like, okay, I'm in North Carolina, I'm going to New York, but I don't want to check the destination till I am 1 hour away. And when you are checking, you are actually, instead of taking 95 north, you're already taken 95 south and you're not checking anything, right? So it's always good to visit the college. I highly encourage, and I have done with my own kids. We have gone to all the top colleges just to give them. And parents, it may be a little bit expensive and the time, but it is worth it. For example, if you have a plan to go to California, make sure you not only visit a family or go to a place where you all want to enjoy, but also make sure you take a time to go and stop at Stanford or Berkeley. Or similarly, you want to go to Atlanta, not only visit a Coke factory, but also go to Georgia Tech. So you basically plan ahead of time, take register yourself, take your kid, just don't go there. Make sure the kid is going through the entire website, make a list of questions and go there. Even though they're in eighth grade, they need to think about a vision. Hey, this is where I want to go. And once they go, let us say they want to go to the Georgia Tech. Once they go in eighth grade, they explore. They have that strong commitment. Hey, this is the school I really want to go. Then check on the admission criteria. Hey, I have to get at least 3.75 or more in unweighted GPA. I want to have at least 1500 in SAT. Okay, that means I'm in eighth grade. I'm still going to start my eighth grade. So I have to have a very much organized so that I can plan well for my high school. Every day I am going to be prepared, because I have seen anybody who is really prepared in seventh grade, summer and beyond, they are doing pretty good in high school. But if the kid is not really realizing about college and where they want to go in ninth or 10th grade, they're not really performing, because you don't have much time to catch up, right? So I highly encourage visit the college campus. And to my surprise, I also found a lot of the eighth graders are also never took SAT or ACT. They think SAT or ACT has to be taken only in high school. Remember, collegeboard.org gives you opportunity to do SAT. And similarly, ACT also had a website, you can do it. The advantage is if you take in eighth grade, and sometimes you can also take in seventh grade, but I recommend in eighth grade, it will help you to see where you are in terms of your academic qualifications. And once you take the entire test, you know where you stand. Are you good in math? Are you good in language? Where you are stumbling, you have enough time to prepare. And the beauty is none of this score will be calculated for your college. But why are you taking? You are taking an advanced course, you know that where you are. It also brings you seriousness to you. It also gives you an opportunity to see where you can actually spend time in eighth grade summer before going to ninth grade. Because most of the time, your SAT and ACT, if you can finish before 10th grade, nothing like it. Because each year you go into high school, you have a lot of the APs, your GPAs, your extracurricular, your volunteering, your internships, a lot of things are keep on adding on to your plate. So your plate will become double full. You don't have enough time to manage, even though you are good in managing. So the earlier you can plan out well and take this test, make sure where you are, then you are preparing yourself ready, right? As I said, visit a college campus. Make sure you are really things. Now, what a parent has to do in a middle school, right? Parent is in a elementary completely holding hand and taking them wherever they are going, giving them a close-knit confidence. In a middle school, they are there, but they're not really holding hand. They are asking them, hey, you do it. I'm here. If you try to fall, I'll come and support you. I'll make sure you will not fall, right? So parent is giving them a little bit of a freedom, not completely releasing, but making sure they are there. They are basically becoming a bridge between the student and the teacher so that their communication is happening. Because what happens is when your kid goes to high school, parent role is almost in the behind the scenes. You will not be allowed to interact with the teachers or the principals unless there is a major issue. They encourage the kid to directly talk to the teachers. So in middle school, you are bridging that gap, making sure your kid is exposed to whatever it is, and you are basically be there. So you are making sure your kid is independent, promoting the responsibility, right? So sometimes you say that, hey, what are you good at it? Do you want to take some music lessons? Kid may not know sometimes, oh, maybe I'm good in music, or I want to do some band, I want to do something else, they don't know. So you are basically working with them, creating a charter. So it's like a working session with the kid and the parent. And sometimes both the parents are sometimes either the mother or father, wherever it is a good communication, but together you are forming what is the kid is good in math, what is the good in reading, the academics and extracurricular activities or sporting, or maybe out of the town, out of the school activities. Or sometimes you are good in computer science, maybe you build a blog, build a website, whatever it is. So you are all exploring as a team, because these are all foundations you are making strong, which will be carried into your high school. And one of the key aspect is you have to instill the value and the character. I have seen a lot of the times, unfortunately, some of the kids are not following the integrity in the exams or in the assignments. Sometimes they're doing the copy and all. Unfortunately, in high school, every those activity will have a serious penalty. So you need to really make sure you're instilling the character development. And whatever you do, right, our kids follow not what we say, but kids follow what we do. So it is a parent's responsibility. You behave ethically, you behave responsibly, whatever the activity you do, so that your kid is understanding and learning from you by the actions what you are doing. So it's very, very important. So that means parents, unfortunately, you are being measured with a magnifying glass by your kid. So you behave the way you want your children to be behaved. Okay. So that means you are, wherever you are going in your social sites, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, however you are doing, all these have implications, positive and negative. What you are going to show that will be carried forward by them, your kids, and making sure whether you are exposing them to Facebook or Instagram or not. I really don't encourage that, but I encourage every parent to have a LinkedIn account and make sure you are also exposing that and working with your kid, because ninth grade onwards, I want to make sure kids have starting to go into the LinkedIn, because that becomes a much more important in their college resume, and also the blogging. So any of those attributes what you have, which are socially important for them to have online presence professionally, which will encourage them to the college application, right? So these are all some of the apps I have found which are very, very important. One is like a Quizlet. These are like, digital flashcards. So this is basically parents and kids can test. Oh, you have a math test. Okay, maybe I will have a flashcards. I will ask you, or maybe science test. So this is where you can also play with your kids and also understand where they are, and you can see where you want to study or help them. And there is also another application called Recap, which will give you some kind of a video lesson, self-reflection. And there is a Mathletius. It's all about real-world math problems. See, math, as you all know, if you have not studied, it is not a direct question and answer math. It's always a narrative. Somebody says, okay, you go to a shopping cart or shopping mall, you buy some fruits, it has some oranges, it has some apples. So you're always narrating. So that means your comprehension has to be very strong in understanding the whole passage, understand what they are asking. Then you are writing your math problem, then you are solving. If you have studied in India, not studied here, most of the parents, which I am assuming, that we may have direct question and answers, but here it's all about the narrative. So you need to help them understand how these things work, because even your SAT, ACT, all this has the narrative problems, right? So these applications will improve. And in another important aspect in middle school is they will be adding a additional second language. So I highly encourage every middle schooler to take either a Spanish or a French or anything. Doesn't matter about the language, but take a second language. And most of the time, our kids are doing, okay, I'm doing Manabadi, I'm doing Telugu. I don't know how. I mean, I strongly say that you can do that, but don't count that as your second language. It's always good. It's like a mandatory. You want to do, you do it, but don't try to connect that with your middle school curriculum. Do additional language. If you know Telugu, which is good, your Tamil, that is good, your Gujarati, that is good, but take a new language which will be helpful, because it's not just for the sake of taking and your grades, but it is going to be helpful for your career, right? If you are a doctor, you have to talk to a lot of these patients in different language, because you don't expect everybody to be a patient who visit you may only know English. There may be Spanish people, there may be other people, right? So it's always help you an advantage to have a second language. Okay, so there are some apps which I have given, and I will share this to you guys later so you can take a look at it, right? So as we have discussed, planning for high school and college. So this 8th grade is very, very important to visit and plan high school and college, so that you know what are the importance. And one of the critical things, what I always say is, visit your high school, understand the curriculum. Hey, what am I supposed to get it? What are the options I have in high school? That curriculum is very, very important, so that you are coming back to your middle school and say that, okay, when I'm going to this XYZ school, their curriculum is this. Am I able to meet all that in middle school? If not, why not? So can I talk to the principal? Can I talk to the teacher? So this is where the parent has to play a little bit of role, understanding your kid, whether your kid is very advanced or average, or what is the special needs your kid may have, how you are going to address that in high school, and how they are preparing in the middle school to meet that high school curriculum is very, very important. So knowing your goal, knowing where you are, and connecting the dots whether understanding those gaps are very important. As a parent, you are helping your kids. And there are a lot of the resources are available. Okay, so go to your high school and they have a lot of the guidance counselors are there, websites are available. You can go to the library, a lot of the resources are available. What you need to do is you need to spend time and then do a custom plan for your kid, right? And I think a lot of the people may know already, this is a NCSSM, the School of Science and Math. This is in 10th grade, you have to apply. It is a 11th and 12th boarding and lodging school. That means your kid will be staying in the school for free, and they will take care of entire tuition. They will take care of entire your stay. You don't need to pay anything, but this gives you a wonderful opportunity for the kid to explore the science and math. I'm very passionate about this school because my kids have gone through it and I have been interacting a lot with the school. And now recently, this year onwards or last year onwards, they have given a mandate that if you are able to get into this school and if you are fulfilling the curriculum, whatever is the requirements, you are directly getting admission into UNC schools. And not only getting the admission, you are also getting a free tuition. Okay, it's a free. 4 years college is expensive and you are getting for free. So I highly recommend this to your kids as well as the parents. But how do you get into it? Even though it is in 11th grade, you have to submit this in 10th grade application. That means in 10th grade application, you have to make sure 9th and 10th your GPA is good. You have to write SAT. You have to write a lot of essays. So if you are in 7th or 8th grade, I highly encourage them to take to NCSSM, have an open house, let them understand, let them explore. Why? Because first of all, they're understanding the eligibility requirements. Second, it is inspiring them to see, hey, I am going to explore this particular school because I'm going to live there. This is an opportunity which I have, being a resident of North Carolina, I want to go there, I can explore. Why it is so important? Because each faculty there, I see 80 to 90% of them are with a PhD. Why a PhD person has to teach to 11th grader? Because they're creating a solid foundation of every subject. Believe me, this will become one of the best gifts to your kids if you can send them to the school. It is a life-changing moment. And another important is, because it is highly competitive, you are going to get a bigger network of the people with all who are qualified and competent, so that you are now, if you have 10 friends, all these 10 friends are going to be, at least 90% of them are going to be successful in life. You are among them. Your network has been increased. I've seen a lot of these kids from this school going to much more bigger schools like, Harvard or Stanford or any of the Ivy Leagues or MIT. So this is really feeding to all over the US. They have a very big alumni network. You can get highly successful in your career. So even though you are putting your kid into this school for the better college, you are basically making them successful for the life. Believe me, this is very, very important. So if you love your kids, take them, get exposed. Kids, if you're really serious about becoming good, you really want to explore, go and visit this open school. And some of the kids say that, hey, I'm really not a science and math guy. I really want to do some arts. We do have some of the art school, one of the finest art school in our area. So this is really available. And this is called UNCSA. They have a beautiful programs. If you are very good with dance, they have a ballet for grades 9 to 12 and 10 to 12. You can actually put them in 1 year drama, or you will have a music, they have 11 and 12. So they have a lot of the different opportunities. Either you can put them from 9th grade onwards, or you can just give them the 2 years. And if you are a US citizen and you stay local with North Carolina, your fee is also free. Again, you go and explore yourself, but again, ask your kids to go and visit and enjoy the place, right? And once you have high school, there is also dual enrollment. So understand about the dual enrollment and all, even when you are in middle school, right? So this is going to be helpful to understand what are the community colleges around you. Again, I'm just giving you the reference of the North Carolina, but there are people who joined on this call from Texas and California and New Jersey. You all have different flavors in your own states and counties. Go and explore. So this is, as a parent, you are basically exploring and making sure you have a plan ready so that your kid can really excel. You are supporting them and you are giving them the opportunity. And again, if something you are missing and you're not able to plan, you are missing the boat, right? So you need to see what you want. And these are all online resources are available, and there are much more. This is a CFNC. Every kid has to have an account, especially when you want to apply for a college. This is a College Foundation of North Carolina. Similarly, you also have a CFNC for other areas. Every state has a common app for college for high schoolers. So this is for North Carolina. Similarly, other places you have. And there are plenty of resources are available. You can go there, and you want to have a career one stop, you want to have some exploration, the link is available. And again, you have a own it online, you have all the resources available. It will give you what is all needed. And especially one of the best thing is myplan.com. This myplan.com will help the kids to do their planning, the time management, organization, how you can do. And if anybody want to go into military, they want to serve the nation, they have something. This is called Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Test. So it will give you the personality test. Somebody want to try it out, so you have. So there are a lot of the resources are available. But if you start early on in your middle school, it will make you ready. So you are going into high school with higher knowledge, higher confidence. And in high school, you can excel and you are planning. So I would say planning, exploring, visiting high school, visiting colleges, making yourself ready. So making your kid treat them as a preteen, teen, and pre-adult. That way you are giving them the support and encouraging them. If you treat them like a very baby, you are not really exploring, you're not spending time, you're not allowing them to go around, visit campuses and all, you are basically putting them into a shell. You're not giving them opportunity to explore and share those experiences. Okay, so this is what I want to share. Again, there are a lot of possibilities are there, but I just want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to go through a basic framework, what is all required. I have given, as you know, again, my name is Swami. I have given you my phone number, and I think most of you are part of my college app. So I will be sharing a lot of this information. Now I will take a pause of this long information, almost like 1 hour. I've been like a monologue giving the presentations. So I want to now ask for any questions or any comments, anything you want to share your experiences. Mostly try to keep it generalized because I cannot have any specific case. We can always talk to the specific case one-on-one sessions, but feel free to ask any questions which may be helpful for you as a parent or as a kid, and which also can be helpful for all the people who are on the group. So feel free to either ask a question if you are shy, ask on a chat, or you can do unmute yourself and ask a question. So this is the time for you all to do.
What materials should I bring?
Oh, so can you please tell your name and where are you from and ask a question, please?
My name is Anish, and I'm from Chicago.
Okay, Anish, Chicago. Which grade are you in, Anish?
I'm going to 6th.
You're going to 6th. Okay, very good, very good. So are you enjoying your summer right now?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
going to India in like a week.
Okay, good. So elementary is all about fun, and middle school is more fun. Only thing is a different direction you will be doing. So what is your question, Anish?
What material should I bring?
Should I bring to school?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the material is, first of all, go with an open mind, go with a smile to the school, make sure you talk to everybody, as even though you may find a lot of strangers, you may say hi, treat them with respect, give them a smile, get to know, and make sure to carry as a student a pen or a pencil with a notebook always, and write all the information. So when there is a class going on, make sure you take the notes, and once you go back, you read the notes, right? So there is a different methodologies you can follow, whatever you like. If you all know, there is a Cornell taking notes. There is a 3-column notes where you are taking a rough notes, you are giving a references, you are writing a summary. So if you want, I can send you all the Cornell taking notes methodology, the way how you can take notes while the class is going on. But basically, you just go with yourself, presence of mind, making sure you are attentive in the class, asking the right questions, listening, and making sure to write the homework. And you have a daily planner. If you don't have a daily planner, first to check with your school what are the material you are supposed to be bringing to the school. If they don't have a list, make sure you carry a book, a notebook, as well as a daily planner, and make sure every class you ask, the teacher will be giving on the board what is your assignment, or they may be giving in other way. Make sure to take the notes and complete your homework on the same day, so that you are understanding the concepts what you are learning in the school, and making sure you are able to reproduce. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? I see some chats. Okay. How many hours of volunteering is required getting in the college? It's a very good question. They really don't say how many hours of volunteering. What they are trying to do is volunteering. When did you start volunteering? You can actually start volunteering in middle school onwards. And in fact, it's a very good question. I highly encourage everybody to start volunteering in middle school. The reason is, when you do your volunteering in the middle school, you are easy to get gold medal. Why? Because up to 15, up to 16 years, I think, up to 16 years, if you do any time 100 hours in a calendar year, you will get a gold medal. After 16 years, you will have a problem of getting a gold medal, because you need 250 hours. And more importantly, after 16, typically you will be in 11th grade or 10th grade. And those will become a very, very highly competitive, because you are so busy with a lot of the work. You may have time, you may not have time. Definitely, you don't have time to do 250 hours. So getting a medal is difficult. But more than the medal, when you start in middle school, you are basically learning the time management skill. You are learning some new skills when you are going there, and it is helping you to become a better citizen. So all these are a lot of benefits of volunteering. So don't only look for hours, but start early and make sure you practice, so that in the process you are making acquiring new skills. And one of the key aspect is, it also helps you if you do part of this VT Seva. We have seen all the kids, or many kids who have successfully been VT Seva, we have been giving a highly the recommendation from volunteering, and additional recommendation, which also will be helpful. And it is helping the kids to get into the schools, getting into the honor roll, getting into the scholarships. All these are side benefits are there. So that's why just don't only look for hours, but make sure you are doing the learning. Okay, how to make a best judgment if kid wants to get into med or any other stream, as it seems confusing at this age. So one of the best thing is, if you don't know whether the kid is really good in med or engineering, sometimes very difficult, don't worry. Why? Because here in the US, the goal should be getting into the best college, where it has all the opportunities available for the kid. Once the kid goes into the college, sometimes the kids go into college with an open mind, what they call says unknown major. That means they don't even know whether they want science or math or social or arts, anything they don't know. They say that, okay, unknown major, you can still apply Once you get into the college, you will actually do exploration. So in this whole middle school and high school, what are you going to do is that there are 5 criteria, right? Make sure your subjects are very strong. Whatever you're doing, science and math foundations are very good. You have a one language arts language skill that is very, very important. Third, make sure you have all the whatever the highest courses they are giving, you take the rigor, whether you are taking advanced math, advanced science, if you can take it, if your kid is eligible, make sure they take it. Fourth, he or she has to explore to all the clubs and extracurricular activities so that it is really helping them when they go into the high school, they can take it. For example, there are kids who are practicing tennis as a just a recreation, but if they are really strong, they can become a part of the school team. If you are part of a school team, it takes you for a higher grader because it also considers an at a higher level, right, in the college applications. But if you are just playing and you're not part of the school team, then it doesn't give you weightage, right? And then the final thing is make sure that you are taking this SAT or ACT and all. So all these things are really helpful. So what are some good homework planning and scheduling apps? I have given you some of those tools, and I will also share this deck, which has all the online resources. I will tell you. But most important is making sure you have a good myplan.com, which I told you. That is a very good time management where you can do a planning and you can do all the schedules. And also simple thing is you can follow your Google Calendar. Everything has to be on the Google Calendar. How can you stand out in admissions when it comes to early college? As I mentioned, your rigor of the curriculum in 6th, 7th, 8th, if you are able to do that, then you can actually apply for Wake Early College, Wake Med and all, because you are middle school, you are making sure the kid is getting ready and it is carry forward to the high school so that it is helpful. And when you become by 10th grade, it is your total academic year, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th are very strong. So wherever you want to go to the School of Science and Math or Wake Early College or any other early colleges, you are completely focusing. And if the kid is able to do volunteering, you are already getting 1 or 2 gold medals or silver medals, depending upon how many hours you can do. You are basically adding all the elements, your rigor of the curriculum, your volunteering, your science Olympiad or math Olympiad or robotics, some of the clubs where you are able to go to state level. All these things are, making sure it is there. What is the gold medal volunteering amount for 15 years? So as I said, we can go to the website and check, but as far as I remember, up to 16 years, it is 100 hours in a calendar year. If you do, you will get gold. After 16 years onwards, you have to do 250 hours. Okay. Okay, let me know if Wake Early is better in terms of compared to public high school and what respect, right? So again, you have to have what is your kids' career opportunity, career ambition, where they want to go, and what are the high school is offering, what is the Wake Early College is offering. You have to compare, because Wake Early College, whatever they are offering in a particular stream. So if your kid is not interested in that stream, if the kid is want to change that, sometimes you may also have a pros and cons. So you need to really think and study whether you really want to go or not. In my mind, if your kid is very smart, very active, I want them to go instead of Wake Early College, go into NCSSM. Then that will give you much more advantage to go into higher colleges. Ultimately, going into better college, like Georgia Tech, depending upon engineering stream, or MIT, or our regular college. Even we have UNC Chapel Hill these days getting it's very tough. Even NC State, it is becoming tough and tough because the competition is increasing. So you need to make sure from middle school onwards you are planning properly. You are taking, it's like a 360-degree view, right? Holistic approach. Your grades have to be good. Your curriculum has to be rigor. You are able to take volunteering. You have to have 1 or 2 medals. You want to make sure you are participating in clubs. You are not only participating, but you are excelling. You are competing in the state level. All those things, right? So all those things are helpful. And if you really want to know, you need to talk to the guidance counselor in Wake Early College and understand that. understand what is your kids want and then take a decision. And if you need any help, we can again talk to your particular scenario and then we can have a session. Okay, any other questions? Anybody want to unmute? Feel free to unmute and ask a question or any comment. I know I am doing a lot of things in the college app. I hope you all are there. I just want to make sure you are getting the benefit of it. I'm not bombarding with all other messages. If you want anything to be improved, anything to be added, feel free to suggest. Again, I am here just to, as my passion, I'm trying to help you all, you as a parent, as a kid. I'm trying to help everybody, right? So if you have any comments, suggestions, feedback, feel free to give here or feel free to give on the group or feel free to give me on one-on-one. It's always I'm trying to see how I can share the information in much more methodical way. And one of the thing which I'm planning to do is August 4th, I will be publishing. I'm going to invite some of every year. I spent a lot of time mentoring a lot of the kids. So I pick a few of the kids from the 12th graders who are going to college, who are successful. I will be bringing them as a panel. And then there will be a session with all the people who are going to into college. So now you're directly listening from the kids, how they are successful, which colleges they are going, what did they do in middle school and high school, how they have planned. All those things are going to come. So that is going to be in August. How to get into college app to receive your messages. I thought you all are part of it. If you're not there, you WhatsApp me to this number and then I will give you the link. This is my number. You can WhatsApp me to this number and ask for, hey, I require college admission app. Then I will give you the WhatsApp information. Okay. Any other questions from anyone? Any comments? Feel free to unmute. How did you guys like this today's session? Let me ask you a question. How did you guys like this today's session? Any comments? So I think you want to take PSAT, but I'm telling you to take SAT. Why PSAT? Take SAT where you are actually going and writing exam in the real hall, the way how you want to take it. So I encourage highly every 8th grader to take one SAT and one ACT a full time. You are allowed to take. As long as you are 13 years old, you are allowed to take. And if you want any more information, you go to the college board, they will give you. And sometimes the kids are allowed to take even in 7th grade if they are being identified as a advanced or gifted kid. You can actually talk to your school guidance counselor. And there are any other information, you can always ask me. So can you please give me a feedback on today's session? How did it go? Any other comments, questions? Please let me know. Otherwise, we can conclude. So Sri Vidyaji, thank you. Appreciate it. I know as a parent, sometimes it's a struggle to go through middle school, and a lot of the kids are very different, and we have not studied because I have gone through my kids almost from kindergarten to middle school to high school. I had a journey of my kids, almost all the levels, kindergarten to high school, even to the college also. So a lot of the things I have done as a passion, just for my kids' information, and they have been successful now. They have been finished college and working. So I thought of just sharing whatever I learned to the community so that everybody can benefit. My goal is, I'm a selfish guy in a way. I want at least 1 or 2 kids from this group to be successful. Then I feel satisfied. And again, you all have to work with your kid, right? So it's all different. Okay. Thank you all. Very good. Appreciate everybody for joining, and mark your calendars for 4th. I am hoping to do this at 11 a.m. on 4th, August 4th, Sunday, so that it would be helpful for everyone, including the Pacific time zone. So that's what I'm thinking. So I will publish again, and whoever is interested, they can join. And feel free to share this to all your friends and families across the US. Anybody wants to join, it's all free. As I said, I just want everybody to get most of the time based on my experience and based on what we have done so far. So thanks again, and appreciate it. Thank you all. I'm going to be ending now. Thank you, Shiva Shankari, Muthuraja ji, and Jyosna ji, and all others. Appreciate it.